What's up, phonies? Crazy Pretzel here. It's February 26th of 2021. Gonna do some AEW review. Getting a visit by my homie here, Peanut. Another wrestling cat. He's not the wrestling cat, as that was WJ's wrestling cat, but he's still a cat. So I don't think he's a big fan of wrestling though, like the wrestling cat was. But he's still a good cat and all that. So we're going to review some AEW Dynamite here in a little bit. Gonna be honest with you guys, I only watched 1 hour of the show this week. I could not get myself to watch the second hour of the show. I looked ahead to kind of see what happened, but based off what I saw what happened, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to watch the second hour. So, yeah, I'm just going to review 1 hour of the show, and I can already tell you from the first hour of the show, it was absolute garbage. So, yeah, we're going to get into it. I do want to show you guys something kind of comical at my work. So, I'm not going to say, out of respect, I'm not going to say the person's name and blah, blah, blah. Well, as you can see, the wrestling cat, my wrestling cat, whatever, Peanut, he decided that he didn't want to partake in this wrestling video. So maybe he, once I talked about AEW, he's like, the hell with this, I'm getting out of here. So, anywho, so I was going to show you guys something funny at my work. So, there's this, I'm not going to say her name or anything, but there's this nurse practitioner at my work, and I think she doesn't believe in commas, because if you can see, like, I took a photo of this on my phone here. It's probably hard to see all that stuff, but you see how there's, like, all these, like, individual, like, lab orders for people on here and whatnot. So some of these, she wrote, like, 5, like, different orders, all for, like, the same, like, patient, versus just, typing in, like, hey, here's order this, like CBC, comma, CMP, comma, vitamin D, comma. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't really understand why she couldn't just put commas in there for one patient. Instead, I had to go through last night and confirm all this stuff and really, like, make check marks on these forms or whatever to figure it all out and whatnot. So, yeah, lady, use a comma. Anywho, so, I'm not really sure what else to rant about other than that. So I'm having a little issue with my mail at my house. So, like, when I lost, like, electricity in my house, like, beginning of the new year or whatever, and Nipsco, like, backed and broke my mailbox, and I should have called and said something, but I didn't. And I'll be honest, I wasn't, like, in a rush to get it fixed or whatever, because it's like most of the time I get junk mail, and I actually burn my junk mail. Do that for, like, safety, so, like, I don't just throw something away and someone says, hey, if I forge this guy's name, I've got a credit card or something. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't in a rush to get my mailbox fixed. Then I realized it was going to be, like, tax season coming up and, W-2s get mailed to you and stuff. So I went to the post office and I got my mail or whatever, but I swear the guy, like, was giving me such, like, an attitude about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. Like, maybe it's annoying that you have to collect, like, someone's mail or something like that, but, dude, that's your fucking job. You work at a post office. If you want to work in fucking, Fantasyland or whatever, then go to Fantasyland and go work there or something. You know what I'm saying? No, dude, you fucking work in a post office. You're supposed to help people out or whatever. And this guy's giving me a fucking attitude about it or something. But then he's like, yeah, so, like, get your mailbox fixed as soon as possible, right? So I did get my mailbox fixed. What I ended up doing was I took my old mailbox and then I got a new post or whatever. And unfortunately, with it still being winter, the ground is frozen. So I put the mailbox, like, in the little 5-gallon bucket, and I put, like, some, like, liquid concrete in there. You pour it in and just add water and it hardens and shit. So I did that, right? So I take it back outside and, like, yeah, this was my fault. I did it at nighttime. I didn't really, like, see, like, as well or something, but it wasn't, like, aligned with my other 2 neighbors' mailboxes, so they didn't deliver any mail to it. So, like, whatever, that's my fault, right? So I moved it closer, like, to where, so it's aligned with the other mailboxes. I checked last night, there's still no fucking mail in it. So if I don't get any mail today or whatever, I think I need to go down to the post office and start whooping some ass around there. And you know what I'm saying? Start standing up for the customer. You know what I'm saying? The average consumer that has to, use this fucking service or whatnot. Yeah, go down there and start kicking some ass or whatever and take back, my mail service or whatever, You know what I say? The post office might be a bunch of big shots or whatever, or the fucking people that use it or whatnot. We keep them in business. And besides, they're already losing fucking money to FedEx and other shit, maybe because they suck so much with their customer service and whatnot, and they're assholes. So, yeah, fuck the post office, and, and fuck AEW, because this show sucks. Alright, let's go into it. So, like I said, I'm only reviewing the first hour. I will discuss a little bit of the second hour of why I refuse to review it, but we'll go get into it. So, the first match on this show was Jon Moxley versus Ryan Nemeth, the Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth. Do people, like, women in today's society still, like, say that an actor is a hunk in Hollywood? I have not, like, heard that expression since, like, maybe, like, the 90s or something like that. Like, do women still say that? They call somebody a Hollywood hunk? A Hollywood hunk of shit or something? I don't know, whatever. But, so, Ryan Nemeth. So this guy was like Dolph Ziggler's cousin or brother or something, and this guy is just a total jobber on this show. Every time he's on Dynamite, he loses. Like, he lost to Pac one-on-one or whatever. I complained about that match. Well, this week he's wrestling Jon Moxley or whatever. So you figure this would just be a little squash match or something, which it kind of was or whatever, but I just wasn't into it. Took a quarter point off for no selling because, like, Moxley's on offense or whatnot, but there was a couple of times where, like, Ryan Nemeth hit Moxley, like, with 5 knee shots to the gut, and also he hit a drop kick on him at one point, but then, Moxley, of course, no-sold that, and then, pretty much, like, just beat him with a paradigm shift, like, right away or something. I also took another quarter point off this match because Rustin Sword decided to throw away the whole illusion, because apparently Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega are going to wrestle in a exploding barbed wire death match. So I'm thinking, I was like, okay, so it's going to be like a barbed wire match or something with like fire or something. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. It sounds weird, but I could see that or something. But so here's what Rustin Sword says. He's like, the ropes are wrapped in barbed wire. There are landmines on the floor. It's insane. So they're really going to put landmines. I don't think that, like, armies out there would might be a little bit upset about, wrestling shows and, civilians just having mines outside of a wrestling ring to step on that explodes or something. Like, I don't really even see how that's even possible for, like, a wrestling company like this to even get access to mines. So it's got to be some cinematic shit or something or whatever. And even if it's not, it's pretty, like, fucked up or whatever. And besides that, if it was like a real landmine or whatever, I imagine you would step on that, it would explode, and you would probably, like, lose an arm or a leg or die. So, yeah. So, just the fact that this idiot threw away the whole, like, illusion of what would have been a mystery to this match or whatever, what it would have looked like, yeah. So I took a quarter point off for that. Thanks, Rusted Sword. So I gave this 2 out of 4. It went in like 5 minutes. It is what it is. I don't care about this feud between Moxley and Omega, because Omega is like the worst world champion ever. They're like, oh, it's a plan, we concocted or whatever. The fucker did like a year of tag team wrestling or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to go back to being the cleaner. No, you're the fucker that decided that you're going to do, Moxley and him had a nice feud in the beginning, then he decided to become a tag team wrestler, and then all of a sudden he's the world champ. Like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. So, I don't care about the feud. It's terrible. Speaking of that, so we got a video promo, or they show a video promo of the feud or something. I gave it a half. For a video package thing, that's kind of what I gave it credit for. It wasn't bad. Do I care about this feud? No. But the video package of like how they put it together was alright. But like I said, Moxley's saying like, all roads through wrestling go through me. Dude, so you're saying that if somebody in WWE wanted to go for the world title in that company, they would have to go through you in another company that they're not even in. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. So, yeah. So, yeah, whatever. Gave that half a point or something. Then we've got Ray Phoenix and Lance Archer. There's it's a video backstage thing, whatever, last week. Pretty much it's them talking with some interviewer. It wasn't Alex Marvez. Pretty much Archer says something about how he's gonna, advance to that ladder match at the Revolution show or something. And Phoenix says something to him in Spanish, and Archer's like, "Hey, what'd he say?" And then he said something about how Archer is the worst partner he's ever had or something, or blah blah blah. So then Archer gets angry at him and starts fighting with him, or tries to attack him, but then Phoenix is dodging him and shit. And then as they lock up, the camera just goes black. So we're supposed to believe that this little 5 foot, I'm not going to say midget, but yeah, 5 foot midget guy or whatever can keep up with this 6'7", 6'8", 270-pound big dude. Yeah, it's not believable, dude. I'm sorry, it's not believable. And plus the camera just going black or whatever. I respect that they were trying to do some kind of angle for a match later on in the show, but I gave it a half a point. I respect what they were attempting to do with that, but they got the wrong people to do it with. Like I said, if it was a smaller guy and a smaller guy, that's cool. A big guy and a big guy, that's cool. But a little midget guy and this big fucking guy that could just fucking kill them, it's not believable. Next, we've got the Young Bucks showing up at the Daly's place, whatever the name of this arena is in Florida, with their parents over there. And this was just stupid or whatever. It's like 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes of them just talking to their parents, walking in or something, and then they show the back of this semi truck or something with pictures of Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson on it or something. It's just one of those hey, look at us guys, we're big shots or whatever, or something like that. I gave this a 0. It's just fucking terrible. The Bucks are awful. They are so awful. I don't understand why they're not heels. We're supposed to take them as baby faces, apparently. It's like I said, 1 week they're heels and faces, and they don't know what the fuck they are. I guess now they're faces this week or something, but like I said, they should just be heels because I can't fucking stand them. Maybe I might actually somewhat like them if they were heels a little bit, because it would be what they are actually portraying to us, but yeah. But like I said, they flip-flop more than a fucking bipolar dude trying to decide what he wants for fucking dinner, so yeah. Next we've got, this was about the only segment and match I liked on this show. It was Ricky Starks and Brian Cage of Team Taz against some jobbers, the Varsity Blondes. I say jobbers because every time they wrestle somebody on this show, they lose. So they're not a bad tag team, but they lose. So yeah. But like I said, I like this match overall. I'll just read off my notes that I liked, stuff that I did like, but then we'll get to some little things that did bother me. So one thing that was cool was Brian Cage, Brian Cage and Pillman Jr., they were outside the ring, and Brian Cage powerbombed Pillman Jr. Into the ring post. That was pretty cool. Starks hit this missile dropkick on Pillman Jr. They were beating him up for a while. Hit this missile dropkick on him, got a 2 count, and then when he got up from him, he was just standing on his hair or something, and as he was trying to get up or something, as Pillman was trying to get up, it was kind of funny. Refs getting all pissed at him. That was cool. Eventually, Pillman got the hot tag to Griff Garrison. I'm glad they didn't win the match, but I didn't understand why this wasn't a finish. But they hit this double team move on Ricky Starks. They one of the guys had him up on his shoulders, or had him up for a power bomb, and then the other guy came off and hit him with a missile drop kick as the guy power bombed him, and that was only a 2 count. I'm confused why that wasn't a finish for a 3 count. That should be a finish, man. So they did that. Starks took that. 5 seconds later, he got up and speared Pillman Jr., which I should be pissed off about and take off a point for no selling. But after he did the spear, he went right back down to the ground and just, he wasn't a part of the finish at all after that or something. He did his move and it was basically done. Cage hit a drill claw on somebody, got a 3 count. It was a good tag match. Made the guys look strong. Taz was on commentary putting over his guys, so I liked this. This wasn't bad. However, we get this goofy video. It's like a Darby Allin goofy video. Like a couple weeks ago, he got like, what is it? Like he got put in a body bag or something and just drug off by Team Taz in a pickup truck. We didn't see him last week, I don't think. So like, you know, he's saying like, you know, nobody knows where he is or he hasn't come back or something like that. So it's like they kidnap him. Where the fuck is he? You know, right? So it's a goofy video. Darby's like in a desert or something. He like unzips the body bag. He comes out of it holding the TNT title. He just looks at the camera and smiles. And then Sting comes out with a body bag that has Taz's son Hook in it or something. Like he's supposed to be like all beaten up and shit, but you know, obviously we don't see Sting physically beating the shit out of him or whatnot. So you know what I'm saying. I appreciate Taz doing like saying something like "what the shit," like trying to you know do a little acting to put over you know his son getting beat up and stuff. Appreciate that, but why the fuck wouldn't you show Sting beating up his son? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this goes on. Darby Allin comes down from the rafters. And then Sting and Darby beat up both Starks and Cage. And I mean, like Darby has a skateboard. He hits them a couple of times with it at first and then does a dive on Starks on the outside or whatever. So, I mean, I'm not going to rip on that so much because, I mean, Darby took that big-ass fucking double team move or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, you know, he doesn't do much. That's fine. But Sting just beats the crap out of, like, Brian Cage, man. He fucking, like, is punching him. Stinger splashes him, hits the Scorpion Death Drop and whatnot. I mean, I feel like they got a little bit buried. I get it was Sting's revenge that they were kind of hyping in this show or whatever, but I don't know. But I still enjoyed it. I mean, this was actually something of a feud that I actually kind of liked. So I gave this a 4 out of 5. It was enjoyable. Maybe it's a little ridiculous, a 61-year-old guy beating up like this young, strong-ass muscular guy or something, but you take into consideration they had a match, you know what I'm saying? You can somewhat see that, so yeah, I'll give them a little credit on that. Next we've got Tony Schiavone like doing an interview with Miro, with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Tony says he's uncomfortable sitting there or something. Miro's kind of asking him why. Pretty much, then they show footage of whatever happened on Dynamite like a week or two ago when like Chuck Taylor like randomly handcuffed Miro handcuffed his leg or something, and then what's his name? Orange Cassidy came out of a wedding cake or something, and Miro ended up getting shoved into Sabian, and Sabian accidentally shoved Penelope Ford into the cake, so she got like cake on her face or something. It was supposed to be some WWE crappy comedy or something. I didn't find it very funny at all. I thought it was kind of stupid. But, so they show that or whatnot. Miro's, like, pissed off with Orange Cassidy and says, you know, he's going to deal with him at some point. But he, like, offers, you know, Chuck Taylor to come back to, or Charles, as he calls him, to come back to him. And, you know, he won't forget what he did, but he'll forgive him. And he wants to, you know, make him a good man. And he knows he's a good man, that he can make him a good man or something. And it was just stupid. And then some dude comes in or whatever, wearing a mask or whatever, which is funny because why the fuck's like I said, this isn't wrestling related, this is real life related. Why the fuck is this guy wearing a mask who's coming in, but then you've got Tony Schiavone who is not 6 feet away, social distancing, not 6 feet away from Miro and the other two, and this guy's wearing a mask. Shouldn't they all be wearing masks? Like I said, this COVID shit is fucking ridiculous or whatnot. It's a government conspiracy. But yeah, so, and if any of you stopped watching the video, then whatever. But anyway, going back to this. So the dude hands Tony Schiavone a note, and basically it's Chuck Taylor and Cassidy challenging them to a tag match at the Revolution pay-per-view or something. At least I think it's a pay-per-view, or maybe it's a Dynamite special. Who knows? Who cares? But, yeah. I think it's a pay-per-view. But yeah, so they couldn't just cut a promo and challenge them, or just show up and challenge them. We do it by notes. Like it's fucking school or whatever when you're passing notes in class and shit or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nowadays you probably would just whip out the cell phone and text somebody. But back in the day, we didn't have that. You would pass notes around in class. So it's fucking high school passing notes in class. So I gave this a quarter point for Penelope Ford, and that's about it. Terrible garbage segment. Let's see. Let's take a little break here. We're going to go into our song of the week here. Like I said, I'm not going to say it out loud because the Facebook and YouTube forces out there. But yeah, this is our song of the week. It's by that band and that name of that song. And you guys should check it out. It's awesome. And if they don't do something, we're going to just do a little clip here of it.
Snow's all gone, as you can see. Well, on the porch it is. Woot woot. Holla.
Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, next we've got Jake Hager, formerly Jack Swagger in WWF, for you guys that don't know the guy, versus Brandon Cutler. Brandon Cutler is a jobber. Last week, the Bucks got beaten up by the Inner Circle, and then Brandon Cutler had come out. He's a buddy of theirs or something. I think Hager like clotheslined him or hit him like one time, and then that was the end of him. So we have to agree that because this guy apparently has an 8-win streak allegedly. Like I said, I don't watch Dark, and I don't fucking care to. And like I said, I think AEW makes up their statistics half the fucking time anyways. Because they were going to be like ranking systems, and they don't fucking even have a ranking system. They don't really go back to it much anymore because they don't fucking go by it anyways. So Brandon Cutler supposedly has an 8-win streak or something. Even though this guy lost every fucking match in like 2019 and 2020, but you know, whatever. So he comes out, he's got some goofy ass like Red Dragon mask on or something, and then like he comes out and then he just disappears, and then it cuts to Jake Hager coming out. Like, okay. Hager comes out. This match went like 5 minutes. I took a quarter point off for selling. Pretty much like, this should have just been a squash match. Hager should have just beat the shit out of Cutler. I mean, he basically did, but there should have been no offense from Cutler whatsoever. But of course there was, because it's AEW. You can't just have a squash match be a squash match. So I can just sum up this whole match. So Hager hits 2 big German suplexes on him. He does his jumping Vader bomb on the Cutler, right? Kicking the crap out of him. Then Cutler just like starts no-selling his offense, throws Hager into the turnbuckle, and then Hager charges at him, and then he gets out of the way, and then Cutler hits a tope suicida on Hager. Big move that did nothing to benefit him, because then he goes into the ring and does a diving somersault flip over the top rope, and I think he like pretty much almost missed this move and whatnot, but yeah, so he does these 2 big moves. He goes back, they go back in the ring. He goes to jump at him again, and Hager just catches him and slams him, and then does a clothesline from hell and pins him. So, like, again, great selling in AEW, these 2 high-flying moves that accomplish absolutely nothing. What is the fucking point of doing them? So, yeah. So, Hager wins, and then post-match, and this kind of pissed me off, and this kind of took me out of the show. So, Inner Circle come out, they're beating up Brandon Cutler. Why not? He's fucking garbage. Just, you might as well stomp garbage and get rid of it, you know. It's going to clean up the streets and whatnot, but yeah. So, Santana and Ortiz come out. I think Wardlow was outside the ring. I swear I saw him on camera, but he didn't partake of the beatdown or anything with the post-match. I could be wrong, but I swear I saw him. But this was also like 5 in the morning when I watched this, so yeah. When I got home from work, it was like 5 in the morning, so maybe I was hallucinating and seeing shit or whatever, but who knows? Like, I thought that this could actually be a decent show, so I would enjoy it, but yeah. So anyway, so they're beating up Brandon Cutler. The Young Bucks come out and super kick Santana and Ortiz out of the ring. Then they're going to super kick Hager, but then Hager just runs away and leaves. So again, it's like 3 or 4 guys running away from 2 dudes, you know? And then we see Jericho and the Bucks call out Jericho and MJF or something, you know, for whatever reason, because they got beat up last week. Okay. So they got beat up last week. They call them out. We see Jericho and MJF on the Titantron, or the Contron, or whatever, Clowntron, whatever it is, because this is a clown show. And they're basically talking trash to him, and then we see, like, fake blood on the Bucks' dad or whatever, and then they throw him, like, face first into the semi-truck that has the 2 pictures of the Bucks on there. They throw him head first into it a couple of times. Not even really a good head first. It was just, like, shoving him, like, into it or something. And then they ran away. Like, they couldn't show a beatdown to this guy. I mean, dude, a beatdown in wrestling is not that fucking bad. I'll demonstrate you guys a beatdown. All right. So say they encounter this guy or whatever. All you have to do is just like, hey, what's up, man? Kick him right in the fucking face. He goes down. You start fucking punching him, or whatever. Maybe if my mouse was a weapon, smash it over the guy's fucking head or whatever. Fucking punch him down again. Lift him up. Throw him into this or whatever. Start fucking beating him down some more or whatever. He's busted open right or whatever. Then you fucking throw him into that truck a couple of times and say, Young Bucks, bunch of young schmucks is more like it. I mean, that's a fucking beatdown, and that's all you have to fucking do. But they can't show the beatdowns or whatever, because like I said, this is a fucking little clown high school show. I got myself all worked up. I love that, but yeah. So I gave this whole match segment a quarter point. Terrible. Next we got a Shaq and Jade Cargill video promo. This was better than last week because at least they showed Jade like in the ring. I think she was actually beating up a guy, but yeah. So she was beating up somebody. Like she showed a couple of moves or whatever. She looked good. She looked good beating him up. Was all right. Gave it a half a point. Might have given it a little bit more, but they should have did this last week. So mistakes cannot be forgotten. So yeah. Then we go into Isaiah Cassidy versus Hangman Adam Page. I fell asleep during this. Actually, yeah, I fell asleep during this. Then I woke up. Then I remember talking to the missus, or my future missus. Then I fell asleep. So yeah. I quit watching the show after this. So Isaiah Cassidy comes out with Matt Hardy, and then Hybrid 2 come out with him because he's big money Matt. Suddenly he's a billionaire that can afford shit or something. It's a great gimmick. But Hangman Adam Page comes out. They start wrestling. Page has the upper hand for a while. It goes to the outside. The guys distract Aubrey was the ref or something. They distract her, so Matt Hardy like throws Page like, you know, face first into the turnbuckle, into the post outside the ring, or whatever. And then the stupid fucking Dork Order jobbers, Reynolds and that John Silver guy or whatever come out, and they tell Aubrey what happened or whatever. So then Aubrey throws Matt Hardy out of the ring. Like there's no replay of what happened or whatnot. She just believes him. Oh, you're out of here! Like it's all stupid, and then they make such a big deal out of it or whatnot. And then I think the match continued after that, and I just stopped caring about this show, so I quit watching. Adam Page won the match. Apparently, he didn't win with the buckshot lariat. He won with some other move that I don't know what it is and don't care. Just like I said, once I start seeing Dork Order after the last cringy shit with the Bucks, it's like, yeah, I was done with this show. I looked ahead to see what else was on this show in the second hour, because there was like 50 or 60 minutes left. There were like 2 fucking matches. It was Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker. I love Britt Baker. Nyla Rose, I've got my Nyla Rose rule. I refuse to watch anything because, like I said, it's a female She's not even a female. It's a fucking dude being a transsexual in a fucking women's division. I don't want to see that on my fucking pro wrestling show. I've got no issues with, like, if transgender people want to have their own division, that's fine. But, like, if it's like, a guy that moved into a girl that wants to be in a women's division, like, it's just wrong, man. It's just fucking wrong. So, yeah. So, Brandon, not watching your fucking ass on TV. So, anyway. And he fucking won the match, too, by the way. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm not reviewing that because I invoked that rule, and I also didn't watch the main event, which was Lance Archer versus Rey Fenix. I'm not reviewing this either, but I saw that on the video, it looked like it took Archer like 15 plus minutes to beat Rey Fenix. Again, 6'7", 6'8" guy versus the little smaller guy or whatnot. And also, I read 2 moves in this match that would have made me fucking explode. So, apparently, Lance Archer hit a muscle buster to Rey Fenix. It was either off the top rope or Phoenix was on the top rope, and he fucking hit him with this move for a 2 count. And Rey Fenix apparently also hit Lance Archer with a Spanish fly. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Batteries just randomly died in the camera. I think I was ranting about the Spanish fly. So the Spanish fly is like the fakest fucking move in wrestling. Like I said, it's the only way it's possible is for you completely see the other guy has to go with the move, otherwise it doesn't work, which makes wrestling look so fucking fake. So it's when one guy is like either he does it from a standing position in the ring, or both of them have to flip at the same time to do it, or they're both on the top rope and they both have to flip at the same time to do it. Like I said, how do you fucking imagine you grab somebody and you have to lift them up in the air or whatever. That's physical strength. So you have to physically lift them up in the air and flip at the same fucking time. It's fucking impossible. Let alone this fucking little midget guy who weighs like maybe 150 pounds, 170 pounds, doing it to a 6'7", 6'8", 275 pound guy. It is fucking impossible. So, yeah. Another reason I didn't watch this fucking match. I'm, disappointed in Lance Archer. This guy needs to not go to their fucking level. He should fucking be bringing them up to his level. He should not be having competitive fucking matches with little midget guys. He's supposed to be a murder hawk monster. He's supposed to be a monster. Like I said, it took fucking John Moxley 3 paradigm shifts to beat this guy when they had a world title match. Cody Rhodes also had a fucking problem wrestling this guy. That's how it's supposed to fucking be. Even when Archer is badass enough that, he can fight Kingston and fucking Butcher and Blade by himself for a while, by himself or whatnot. But he's having a fucking problem beating this little fucking midget guy, and I'm supposed to take that serious. Yeah, fuck you, AEW. I ain't taking that serious. So, based off what I graded on the show and whatnot, the show, I counted about 10 possible points they could have gotten. The show got a 4.05 out of 10, so it got a 41%. It was a fucking garbage show. Bullshit of entertainment. This show is not entertaining. Oh, and I also heard that the Big Show, Paul White, signed to this company too. Oh, I wonder what they're gonna do to this guy or whatever to make him look bad, because this show was such a fucking clown show. So, yeah, do yourself a favor. If you want to watch anything on this show this week, if you have to say there's got to be something to check out, watch the Starks and Cage versus the Varsity Blondes tag match. It wasn't a bad match. There was stuff that happened in it afterwards. Like I said, the little video with Darby coming out of the body bag was a little bit stupid because it basically is a kidnapping angle or whatever. That was a little stupid, but I still enjoyed it. The whole match and attack afterwards, it felt kind of like wrestling in a way. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of this clown show, hokey show crap, 4 dudes running away from 2 dudes and, fake fucking GARP matches happening off stupid wedding angles or something, or clown shit and high school shit of passing notes and just, stupid shit. Do yourself a favor, don't watch them. But watch this. As we end our show on a positive with the Babe of the Week, the Babe of the Week is Katie Banks. Yeah, she's a porn star. Of course she is, but, I think she looks good. So, yeah, So that was our AEW review. Check out the Starks and Cage tag match, and check out Katie Banks, and check out the song of the week too. It's a great song. So yeah, catch you guys later. Have a good weekend. Peace. I'll be at work. So.